call this workshop to order. So we need to come up with some suggestions on how to use this, what do they call it? The ARPA money. What we have is we got approximately $24,000 last year. We'll get another $24,000 this year for a total of $48,000. This is federal funding. We have in April, we have to do a report on this, giving them an idea of what we're going to use the funds for. We don't have to start construction until, I believe it's 2023, and we have till 2026 to use the funds. That's what I'm seeing reading through all this stuff.
So we have until April to decide how we're going to.
April 30th, there's a report we have to do. Have they sent that report? They sent that report yet? We don't know what they're asking for in that report yet.
I think they just want the summarization of what we're planning to use it on.
That's what I printed. So, it can be used for water, sewer, and broadband. When this first came out, the county had said they're going to use their county money for broadband, so they would be the ones that would be running more broadband up here instead of us using us trying to put more broadband in. So,
So can we, like I said, can we use it for the re-graveling of the road that goes around the sewer lagoon, seeing as you got a plow year round now? So we can get off of the cobble? Because right now it's just, it's a gravel road that goes to it, to the pump house, but the, seeing as we gotta go around the lagoon, that's not gravel, that's just, it's.
it says invest to support vital wastewater infrastructure, so because if we have to be in there all year round, I would assume that would come under that.
Well, yeah, and a wide range of water and sewer projects, so that's a sewer project.
And then, I'm not sure where the boundaries are down there for what we actually own, because there should be some trees taken out on that one side, be on the south side of the pond, because otherwise you ain't got no place to go with the snow.
Renee, I've got that
Not that
maps
it's,
that I
you know,
took, so we know where the
because I
boundary is
plowed it
around
today.
that sewer.
It is like it's, so that.
Oh,
could be
I did all those
bullshit.
maps for Greg that he wanted of the property the city owned. So there's a map in there, there's a folder of all the maps that I found, what the city owns, so it should show you the boundaries and the sewer moving.
Yeah,
Close
the other
enough
thing-
till you could do something with.
The other item here I marked is it does say, in regards to water, we can use it for private wells. I don't know if that would come, if that UV station would come under that. Have you found anything out on that, Martin, at all, on the UV station? On that UV station of Wayne-Myers?
Oh, no, I kind of gave up on that because we don't know
Sorry about that.
where our easement is or if he even crosses it for sure.
So,
If somebody was gonna get me the assessor's information, I'll find out.
okay, so you need the assessors, okay. Well, it's just,
I'll see if I
so
can
this,
find it.
where there was an expense that we need to put that in, we might be able to use that since it's, I don't know, that
To
would
do
be
an upgrade there.
to do an upgrade there. So,
Do we have the full 48 still available or just 24 now?
well, we'll have a full 48 this year. I'm not sure when it
So we have
came
24
in.
right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure when it came in. I was gonna call it, but I didn't get a chance to. But yeah, we'll have 48 this year.
Well, you know, and I don't know what it would cost. I know they're very, very expensive. But what about drilling a well?
And
For what, I mean,
Supplemental water.
don't we have a supplemental?
not like that.
No, so we're talking about, I'm sorry. I'm late.
Talking about a well, I was late to the a well that if, things get tough, like it looks like it might, and it has the paths, we can pump out of the well into our water system, treat the water, and keep on going.
Yeah, and actually, the well water probably wouldn't have to be treated either, but we could add it right to it. Because usually well water's clean anyway.
Usually, yeah.
Well, that, and we also asked Eco about doing that to do it up at the tower.
A well,
Huh?
a well.
Yes.
To avoid the pumping system.
So we don't have to go and pipe it all the way from down here in the bottom, all the way to the top of the hill.
But Levi has mentioned that multiple times, our water signer, he's mentioned that a well would be our best alternative. I mean, because we can draw out of Cracker Creek, but my God, Cracker Creek, that's nasty water, in my opinion.
It is by the time we want to use it.
Yeah, in the middle of summer.
It's not like that, it's as bad as McCall.
You need a well, though, I mean, probably they could do, well, the supplement, you could probably get by with 150 gallon a minute or 100 gallon a minute, somewhere in there, take a pretty good well.
You think that much?
Yeah, to supplement us, yeah. If we wanted to fully rely on it, we'd need 150, but we need 100 probably to, yeah, I'd say probably 100.
Where are you getting that number from?
Well, it takes right now 130 gallon a minute it takes about 130, 140 gallon a minute right now to supply the city. So
In the summertime?
in the summertime. So if we did do a well, it'd be nice to do something that would almost cover our,
Sure.
depending on the expense. I mean, it's bigger well casing, but,
Well, yeah, you're probably talking about 8, 10 inch, are you?
I would imagine.
And of course, those pumps ain't cheap,
No.
because it'll be a
Is this
submersible.
something the city would be paying for, or something that we'd get a grant for?
Well, what we're talking about is we have American Rescue Plan money, they're total 48,000. So but to find a well, just bear with me, we'd have to get it surveyed and somebody in here to find the water, right?
Well, the way you find water is you poke a hole in the ground.
Pretty
And
much.
hope that's the right
Yeah,
spot.
I mean,
I
somebody,
know, but I mean, hope that's, how do you find the right spot? Where would you?
well, people who drill wells
Mm-hmm.
know
Yeah.
a lot about the geology
Yeah,
of the
right.
water.
Yeah.
But that can change from, 5 feet over.
Mhm.
Now, a lot of people believe in witching. I don't. I've drilled 3 dry holes where somebody said to witch it, and I said, just go in the lowest spot over there, drill, and I got 200 gallons. But, it's a crapshoot.
I don't know.
So,
Could a guy drill a well? I mean, that's not enough money to drill a well in private.
We have some money though. Rob says we've been doing a lot better. We have some money. It seems to me water is one of the most critical things we need. I mean, the turds don't flow down to the pond without the water, everything.
This is gonna be a bad year.
It's gonna be
do we
bad.
have a local well driller in
Yeah.
Baker County?
Yeah, we do. And I don't know how big a tool he can handle, because that depends on their drill. But I know the city just put one in, Baker. It's easy enough to find out.
Well, yeah, find out what the cost would be.
Well, I'm happy to call him.
Okay.
Where we would save money would be, I don't know if we have enough power up at the water tower up here, in the electrical room to run I don't know what there is plumbed in there, but I know that down here at the cistern, which we can open one valve and close another, and we can put the water right into the McCully Creek line. Out here where we draw out of Cracker Creek, I know we've got enough power there to run, you know, without going huge on the cost of electrical. I would say the two spots for a well would be either up here at the water tower or down here on Cracker Creek.
The only problem I have though with using the same pipe as what Cody is on, it's one pump or the other. You can't pair them. You cannot put them both together. That's my biggest
Yeah,
drawback.
that's true.
That's my biggest drawback.
That's
That's how
true.
come we talked about taking them running from the bridge, because that's where the one comes out of Cracker. Come from the bridge and tee off of that, just elbow it and bring it up and around, take it clear to the tower. And then I get laughed at because that's an expense, and which I know it is, but the thing is though, now you have two water intakes, and then your well ordeal would get rid of the nasty water out of the Cracker.
The good place for a well would be actually the water tower. Depending on electrical could get expensive too.
Well, see, and the thing is though, that's what we asked Kiko about doing this, you know.
Does anybody have a well up there at all? So
Up that high?
There's
anybody up in that
one-
area have wells?
I know a guy who has a well up in Bear Gulch that's higher than this. The problem is, normally in this geological area, you go down about 80, 90 feet and you hit water that the water in your toilet bowl turns orange in a couple hours. You gotta go down through that layer down to the next aquifer to get clean water. And so that means going further, that means more expensive. And of course, drilling up there, you know, what are you gonna add? 80 to 100 feet of well and casing and everything? How does that compare to you running an excavator and putting some pipe up there from down here? I mean, we just have to look at that.
Yeah, because I know Dan Looney's well, before I moved in there, he ended up making the well deeper. I can't remember how deep he said he went though. It was quite a ways down. But even then, it still did the same thing. It's because it's all high iron, so everything in your toilet bowl, everything turns orange like that.
So that'd be something for our engineers to,
Something
if that was something we thought we wanted to do, it'd be something for the engineers to draw it up and figure out where we've got power and what would be the cheapest bang for the buck.
I'll tell you who to ask is, what was his name? He lived up here out of town. He used to get horribly drunk every day, and drive his four-wheeler around. His wife was a nurse. They lived out at Hale's place for a while. He was a real funny guy. And they're out at Meadowbrook now. But he had a well. And, you know, I'm sure he had to go quite a ways. So, gotta think of his name. My wife would know it.
Steele? Ted?
Ted, yeah.
Ted Steele.
And he was a really funny guy, nice guy.
They're up there now.
Ted and Lucy?
Yeah, Ted and Lucy.
They were in a nursing home.
Yeah, he got better and she retired, so they're back up at their house.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Well, somebody ought to ask.
I run into her now.
Don't the well drillers usually have a plotted out deal of areas and kind of have a look at it?
Yeah, because it should be the same, actually, it should be on the same ridge as what Renee's place is on, because that would have been from Joe Stockford. Should be on that same.
Well, across the road, Gordon Olson or Gaylord Olson.
Yeah.
And those people up there, the well driller, he'll have a map of every registered well in the area, or it's available to it.
See, then, we also know that they came in and they sunk that well for that big mine that's on Cracker. Because they put that big well in, because that well is where they get their water from to run that plant. Because they wouldn't let them pull it anymore out of Cracker.
So that should be the same water aquifer.
And that's a lot, I'm just saying though, that would follow into Martin's ordeal of a lot of water. Because,
Well, yeah, well,
I mean, they recycled that water, but the thing is though, it was just makeup water, but it was a big well.
well, so all we had to do is wait for them to go broke.
Well, they did, that's why the damn thing's for sale.
I'll check with a well driller and see what he has to say. But, you know, it being First City, it's gotta probably meet other tests. And I can't believe they let us do anything if it wasn't tested.
Oh, it's everything's tested.
Yeah, but, you know, we'd have to look at the cost of drilling it lower and maybe not as deep and pumping it up there versus drilling it up there and not pumping it as far to get it up there, except sucking it out of the hole. And those pumps chew up electricity.
We need, because you're pulling it so far.
Push more.
Which is the cheapest there, to run from Macaulay and do all the chemicals, or to run out of the well?
Well, the thing is we should always probably think bigger. I mean, if we were going to do a well, go as big as we, or whatever we can afford, because we're not going to get any smaller in this town, that's for sure.
And you can't just stick a tool in an existing well and bore it out and make it bigger. It just doesn't work that way because you got steel, concrete casing in there.
If you're gonna do the job, do it to last for,
In a while.
you know, for the future growth.
And like I said, the thing that we need to really focus on is not only where we're putting the well, but so we can use more than just one water supply. You know, you got O'Farrell Creek and you got the college. They kind of correspond with one another. You can't run both because otherwise it just backloads into the.
I see us using Cracker Creek though this year. You know,
If we have water,
if
only if you have water in the creek. If you ain't got water in the creek.
Well, yeah, but I
Because it
mean,
was pretty low last year.
Macaulay was so low up there in our inlet. I mean, it was pretty low.
The thing is you gotta have, I don't care how big the hole is, where that pipe is, that goes into the creek. You turn that pump on, you gotta have the flow into it. If you don't have the flow into it,
That's what
They'll
we
burn
were
the pump.
out this summer.
Okay, well, that'll kind of burn up our money. That'll take care of the money.
I mean, it'll take care of the money and then some.
Yeah.
But, you know, if we can't get it as part of a deal for our water system anyway, I mean, we gotta have it. Doesn't do any good to have a fancy water system if there's no water going through it.
Okay,
And it makes the sewer system go.
okay, so Martin, you're gonna check on that.
Yeah.
Was there any other,
Well, this,
I'm just jotting down, what we're.
like I said, this is a pretty big priority.
Okay.
And then somehow, some way, we need to put that handrail up at Macaulay this spring. That's on that walkway.
It's pretty dangerous, especially in the winter.
In the winter time.
Oh, it's awful in the winter.
Well, I guess we can't make any, we have, take this all to council and have all our information, and then we can decide which way we wanna go.
So then do you guys want this on the agenda? Is that enough time, Martin?
Depends.
Well, I can try to call my guy, whether I get a hold of him. Yeah, put it on the agenda.
Okay.
You here, so.
Yeah, because it's a 3-day weekend.
It is?
Yeah,
it's a
Why?
holiday,
President's
it's
Day.
President's Day,
Oh,
so.
God, I'm missing all these holidays.
I
I don't get days off.
You're not my president.
So, it's president's plural, it's president's plural.
Oh, okay, we're celebrating.
Is there any other suggestions, or are we just good with this? And
I like water.
This is a big one.
But I think it's gonna be interesting if we can make it work with this grant and whatever else we can
Yeah, and how much we have to add in.
pull together.
Okay.
You got any other free money
Did
floating
you
around?
have anything?
I have a question about, it's gonna be a little bit of an expense, but we're gonna need, for filter beds, we're gonna need to get a sucker truck out of Boise to come, we've had them up here before, to dig a hole for us, because up there, there's 12 valves all over the need to dig it with a sucker truck. I've taken Charlie up there and shown him. It's so busy in that we don't dare take a backhoe in there, but there's a valve that's leaking in there that we need to get down there and excavate that out. It's about 6 feet down. They can dig that out real easy with a back truck. But, and I know that I think it was 2,500 last time or something like that, maybe 3,000 to get them out there. I don't know.
Does the city of Baker have one of those?
They've got a small one on a trailer, but I don't know if it's big enough or they would, do it. I doubt it.
You doubt they'd do it?
I doubt they'd send somebody up there and loan it to us. I don't know, we could ask them.
I think they might, because for years and years and years, the position of the city of Baker, at least when I worked there, was that they would buy their own equipment and it all just sit there. And then, of course, when they needed it, they had it, rather than hiring contractors. And so they got a pile of equipment. And it probably wouldn't hurt to call them, even if it's smaller and takes more time, if it'll work.
Yeah, we can ask Noodle and see if
Hang on. Martin, are you talking county or are you talking city?
City.
City,
Oh.
not Noodle.
Okay.
So what do you do with the sand that you suck out? Do you put it back in again?
Just dump it on the ground.
So you have to buy new sand?
Yeah, we'll just put some sand or,
Is that the one that needed the sand replaced in the what you did?
no.
No, this is on the outside.
This is on the outside. This is some valving that comes out. And
Oh, okay.
somebody's been in there and Jeff thought Jeff McKinney had dug down in there with the backhoe, but the valve's sitting in there crooked. So the can where you put the tool in to shut it off, it's on in there. And that's the one that's leaking. It's got a pretty good leak. And, but we need to get that excavated, but I don't dare go in there with a backhoe or mini hoe. It's just too busy. I mean, you think Charlie looked at that?
I mean, it's a lot of valves in a small section, and there's like 12 valves there.
Yeah.
What are they all for?
For opening and closing for cleaning the filter beds.
Individually,
Yeah, and draining the filter beds and
water in.
water out. It's a busy place up there.
And they're all like right there. And this one valve, it's on the outside, but you don't know where the pipes go to that go off towards the tower.
See who you would call on it.
So you think we could call the city and see if or the county, see if either one of them have a back truck that would be available?
Well, the county doesn't have any water, basically, I don't think. The city does, though.
Okay.
Plus, they're building that new mountain line, and I think they're doing it themselves. But if they contracted that out, there might be something out there, because every little creek that comes out from Goodrich Creek towards Baker has a little diversion dam that fed Baker City's water, because they used to fish the dead rats out of them. So, give Baker its great flavored water.
You have a shop vac, you can start now.
And a generator. You got a generator and a shop vac. We might need another shop vac before we're done.
Okay, well, we have several things to check on, and then if we'll hopefully have some answers to council. If that's everything, then it's 4:26.
Where's our mayor?
I-
He hadn't got his tire fixed?
Yeah, he got his injectors fixed or whatever.
If
All right.
we're okay, we're done. Is that okay? I close this workshop?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, then you can ask about the